This is CPM Calculus Chapter 2, number 105. Without your graphing calculator, determine if the following functions are even, odd, or neither. Then explain how you determined your choice, and then check your answer with your graphing calculator. Okay, so what's key here is to remember that if a function is even, we know that if we take in a negative input, right, we get f of x as our output. Okay, so if we get a negative input of x, it becomes f of x still. Okay, so let's see. So let's start with a, and we know y is equal to cosine of 3x. Well, what if we put in a negative x? So at input now, right, if we want to put our argument instead is negative x. So then we're going to have y is equal to cosine of 3 times negative x, right? Or that's the same as cosine of negative 3x, right? Because we're just multiplying the 3 and the negative x. Well, here you need to know that cosine of a negative number, so property of cosine is that cosine of a negative input is the same as cosine of the positive input, okay? And there we get our original function back, right? It matches there, therefore even, okay? So once we are able to verify that, let's graph it. It says to check, right? Because we explained how we determined our choice. So let's graph it. We get y equals, and then let me find cosine 3x. Okay, so graph this. Oh, so I have something I need to change. Obviously, I need to change my mode from degree into radian because I know cosine okay, that looks better. It's a sinusoid, so let me zoom in. So zoom, let's go standard. There we go. So there's cosine of 3x. And remember, I'm in radians mode. And I can see that if I take a point here, it's the same on the left and the right. So it reflects across our y-axis. So that confirms that it is even. Okay? Oops. Even. Right? Okay, so we know it's even. Alright, so now let's do B. Okay, so part B, we're given y is equal to negative absolute value of 2x. So at the input is now negative x. What do we have? We have y is equal to negative absolute value of times negative x. And that's equal to negative, so 2 times negative x is negative 2x, right? And we also know that the absolute value of a negative number is just that number. So we could remove any negatives in the absolute value. It doesn't matter the sign because we're always going to have the same thing in the inside, right? So again, we're getting, when we plug in a negative value for x, we're getting the original function, right? This is the same thing we had here. So that means this one is also even. Okay, so let's graph this one and check. Okay, so let's see. Now we have negative absolute value. So here in catalog, let's put A, alpha A, absolute value of 2x. Okay, so let's graph this. Okay, so again, here is our y-axis, and it looks on the same. It looks the same on the left as it does on the right, as if this was a mirror. So that confirms that it is even. We've done it algebraically here by using this as the definition for an even function, and we've also done it graphically. Okay, so this ends CPM Calculus Chapter 2, number 105.